Hello. In today's session, we're going to look at video conferencing, or what some people call remote meeting. Sounds complicated, but it really isn't. It's essentially you talking to someone else through a video over a computer rather than through sound over a phone. We're going to focus today on a program called Zoom. Let's just have a look at some of these other buttons. We're not going to look at all of them, but there's just a couple of them that I want to show you. So there's this button here, which is chat. So what I can do is use Zoom a bit like I would do a text messaging service. So if I want to text someone or send them a message, I can do it through this. I can also see meetings that I've got scheduled here. And this is this meeting, the catch-up meeting that I just set up as a test meeting, just to show you a few moments ago. Let's say that I don't want that meeting. I can press delete, and that meeting will now be gone. There's my contacts, so if I wanted to, I could save my contacts into here. And this can be quite handy if you're contacting the same person over and over again. So for instance, if you're trying to get in touch with your son, your daughter, your partner on a reasonably regular basis, you could save them in here, and it just makes it a little bit easier to send them invites and to meet with them. We don't need to look at apps and whiteboards, but the last thing I want to show you is this settings button here. There are lots and lots of settings in Zoom, and this is true of nearly all remote video software. I can't go through all these in this session, but you can just look through them to whenever you've got a moment. We're now going to look at how you can use certain functions within a meeting. So I'm just going to start up a meeting here. I'm just going to press new meeting. So one of the first things you'll note is that it's telling me that it can't start the meeting because there's a video camera already in use. Obviously I'm speaking to you now through this video device, so that's why it's saying this. But normally what would happen is where my picture is there, there'd be a video on the go. There isn't at the moment. That's nothing to worry about because the functions I'm going to show you aren't affected by the video or not. Most of these services, these remote video conferencing services, what they'll do is ask you, first of all, whether or not you want to join with computer audio or join with audio. And if you don't want basically to, you can either use a phone call or computer audio. So computer audio is basically listening through the speakers available on your computer. In some cases, it might be a phone call. If you're using a laptop or desktop device, all you have to do is press join with computer audio. I'm going to make this a bit bigger so you can see a bit more clearly. And we're just going to quickly look at some of the really basic functions. So usually there'd be a video going in the background, but as I said, because I'm recording this training session at the moment, that's not happening. So what we can do is turn the video on and off by pressing this button here that says start video. Obviously I can't do that at the moment. I can also turn the mic on and off by pressing this mute and unmute button. So if I press unmute, that means that people will not be able to hear me. So my microphone's effectively turned off. If I left click mute, they can. If I left click start video, the video would normally start, but it can't in this case because I'm speaking to you through this video. There are some various things down the bottom here which we don't really need to go into a lot of detail with. But if you left click security, there's various functions in there that you can use to make your meetings safer, especially if you're doing public meetings. That's very rare that most people would do that, but that's where it is. If you left click participants, a new sort of window opens here and you can see who is in the meeting, and also you can see a list of people who want to enter the room. So let's say you've got loads of people who might be wanting to come in to say hello to you. It's like a birthday party or something. You can press participants and you can see them all there. Most people won't use share screen, so I'm just going to sort of go over that. And as I've said already, you should be very careful about sharing your screen. And if I just press this more button, the only other thing that I just quickly want to show you is chat. So it can be useful sometimes to have the chat box open. And I'm just going to move this screen over here because you can't see it, but I've just opened up the chat box there, and all I've done is left click more, and then I've just left click chat. And what I can do in chat is talk to people through text, so I can write a message. And what that will do is send a message to everyone in the meeting. And it can be handy sometimes, let's say if someone's microphone isn't working, it can be handy to type them a message. But also, if you want to share a website address or something like that with people, you can just put it into there. You can also choose to, if you left click that button there, it says everyone, you can also choose whether or not you send it to everyone in the meeting or a particular person. So those are all the basic functions that I wanted to go through. But now let's say you've done your meeting, you're at the end. How do you end it? Well, there's this big button down here. You just left click, end. Now you've got two options here. You can end the meeting for all or leave the meeting. If you end the meeting for all and you are what's called the host, the meeting will stop for everyone. They'll instantly leave it. If you just press leave meeting, it's only you leaving. So if you're the host of the meeting and you don't want anyone else to stay in it, you might want to end the meeting for all. It's a bit like ending a party. Or you might want to let them carry on. But usually what you do is when you want to leave the meeting, you just press either leave meeting or end meeting for all. In this case, I'm just going to press leave meeting. It shuts down. And that's the basics of how you do a meeting using video conferencing software.